Okay, guys, so it's the next day. Can't wait to get started on this thing. Got the buddy heater going today because I plan on doing some winter camping this weekend, and I need that tank empty so I can refill it. And it's about 2 degrees, so it's not too bad. How to start? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out these spark plugs and get right to it. I'm going to leave probably this connected, as much things connected I think as possible. I just want to see what the piston looks like in the cylinder, and I don't know how much I have to take off to be able to do that, to see that. So and I just want to say thanks for the subscribers, and you know, if you can, if you're watching this, please subscribe. Watch this mess here. Hopefully get back to great condition, and take it for some rips. It's got a blown cylinder. Yeah, so just to recap, this cylinder here, the right cylinder, looks like it's got some damage to it. The seller was riding it, and it just basically stalled. Didn't lock up, I guess. He said it just stalled. So I did see it turn over, the piston moving, so it's not locked. Could have just lost compression completely, blown a ring or something. We'll find out. Hopefully, like I said, it didn't destroy the cylinder or the crank or anything like that. So today's goal is to find out what I need to order as far as that goes. If it's just a piston, if it's a cylinder, see what that looks like. And it does look like, it's just caked on dirt. And so this didn't run for, I think, a bunch of years. And then they took it out for their first spin in, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years. And they got maybe a kilometer or something, and it just died. So, and then it hasn't been running, and that was 2 years ago. So, I'm sure I'm going to find some a mess in the gas tank where I test the gas. We'll, test compression on the other cylinder and stuff like that. But first, I want to see how bad that damage is. And I think what I'll do today as well is test the battery, which is right there, and I'll try to hook up the dash and see if it lights up and see what I get. I'll try to get that. I'll get the exhaust out of the way, make some room. Luckily, everything is, working on a Skidoo, as I'm finding out, everything's right there. I mean, I know there's a lot of shroud stuff that's come off already that the customer took off, so I hope all the parts are there. But we're gonna cross our fingers, and hopefully I don't get nickeled and die to death with, nuts, bolts, specialty parts that are hard to find on a 2006 nowadays. So let's get started. I'll get set up, and we'll tear into this, and we'll hope for the best. All right, so subscribe, please, guys. Keep the channel going, keep it growing. If anybody has any info on this, it's a Polaris IQ 700 Touring, 2006. So if anybody has any experiences, has one, knows any problems, has had this issue happen, because it's a Liberty engine. It's supposed to be reliable, but obviously, when you sit things for a lot of years, you can't just pull it out and start driving it, I guess. And that's the big lesson of the day. You got to clean it out. I could have had water in the gas and everything. So, all right. So I'll get set up. We'll be right back and tear into this. Okay. I think, so this goes into the other power valve there. I'm going to get these off. They are on there. Wow. There we go. And let's see what's on behind door number 1 here. How is it running? Let's see that. Oh yeah, that's a brown. That's good. It's running perfectly. Nice. Some gloves on here. Jeez. That's what I didn't want to do, smash my hand on something. Okay, let's get this second one out. So, probably should have remembered which one went where. Okay. That's the second one. Well, I don't see any damage. It looks like it's pressed down or anything, like it hit the top, piston hit it or anything like that. So, again, that's not too bad at all. That'll focus on that. Okay. We got 13 mil. And just want to crack this top, see what's underneath. Still working away at this. We're gonna hope that they're all the same size. So going back in is easy. Looks like so far they are. And I did drop one in behind, so I'm gonna have to find that. So there's the bolts for that. Oh, that's split. I'm guessing it's the heat sensor on the bottom here. So we got to make sure we connect that right into there. I'm going to put that back in there for now. So we can see this is the bad piston. Looks like, I don't know how long it's not been firing, honestly. That's pretty clean. And this one you can see tiny bit of carbon, but almost nothing. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna try to turn that over, but that piston is spotless down there. So, oh, it does have, you know what, I bet you the rings came off. You know what? To take these cylinders off, I think it's just 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like a 14. It's gonna be, we gotta make sure we don't lose that sensor way back in there. And this is the oil line that's going right into the cylinders, it looks like. Push this down here. like I got it. Grease monkey. And let me tell you, they suck. They're supposed to be very durable, but as you guys can always see, I think I hit my hand on one thing and it pops a hole in it. So I like them because your hands stay clean, and not only that, you have your dexterity perfectly, like bare hands almost. But other than that, they rip way too easily. Almost out. There we go. There's no washers. Short one on the back. So looks like I'm gonna have to put that one out still. Okay, so we got 2 long on the front, 2 short on the back. And we'll get this cylinder off here. I believe that's all that's there. There's a gasket come off there. I'm getting a new gasket kit anyways. There's coolant coming out the bottom. Yeah, I see that piston has definitely got hot. So let that drain out a little bit. I think the only thing holding it on I hope well, looks like there might be something else holding it on. Okay, I think I need to take this oil reservoir out. In order to get back in there. Just when you think everything's easy. Work on, not so much, but it's okay. Okay, I think I can get this right out. Possibly. see that piston was melted. Look at that. Look at the state of that. There's the problem. There's the problem. So that definitely heated up. So we're going to pray that it didn't do anything to the cylinder. And I don't think it did. Amazingly enough. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cylinder off first. And I think that'll allow me to get into the back there. So I'm just going to pop this. Let's get a light in there. You guys can see what's going on back in here. Okay, taking a little break from trying to get that cylinder out. And there we go. Okay. We got them out. Air intakes. Pretty dirty. Okay, so well, we got that out. We'll be able to clean that up. And hopefully get everything back together at some point. That was just the distraction to give me a moment to breathe from this thing. I don't know how I'm going to get that out without taking this whole engine out. I'm gonna have to take a break. Okay, so 2 hours to get this, and this isn't even the cylinder that I need to take out. So the little bugger was the bolt on the back, which holds on the fuel injector, and so this is where we are now. This is the piston that is not the problem, and it looks well oiled back down underneath there. Piston looks perfectly fine. I mean, so you can see back in there, that's the bracket I had to get off. It's this here, if you can see that. Sorry if it's dark, but that was on the back of the cylinder, which, wow, was not fun. Millimeter by millimeter I got to it. So there's no up and down motion at all on the crank. Tiny bit of side to side play, which is fine. I am going to be taking those rings out and checking the gap in the cylinder, but I do want to get the other cylinder off so bad. That's where the problem is, and so I know what to order, right? So I need to order a piston, and I'm pretty sure that's it. The oil injector, which I believe is on the front here, that I'm gonna have to look into, because I'm wondering if that's what it was. It could be either the fuel injector on the other side, it wasn't working, but it created a lot of heat in there. So I'm thinking the oil wasn't getting to the cylinder, which I can change the oil pump. There was tons of oil in the in that little reservoir there. Little, it's not little, it's massive. So I can't see it being that was empty or anything, and he just filled it up. So I'm going to work at taking this other cylinder off, and hopefully we can order the parts tonight and, you know, see how long it's going to take. It's looking at like about 220 or something like that for a piston. They are fairly large pistons, so I'm guessing that's why. If anybody knows a better place to buy them, shoot me a message, because I would love to know. I've been looking all over the place. Looks like Royal Distributing in Ontario here is probably the best place, cheapest place. Let me know if there's a better place. And that's melted. All right, guys, I'll work away at the second one now, see what I can do. Okay, guys, here we go. So, ice fishing, winter camping got canceled. Somehow I don't have heat in my Jeep all of a sudden. Tried to risk it, but the windows are frozen up from the flash freeze we had. Went from like +6 to -10 Celsius or something in like a couple hours. Froze everything up, can't open the windows. So we are going to work on this today instead and take the ATV for a rip tomorrow, and it's make the best of it. So I'm going to continue what I was doing with this. I'm sure you guys know where I left off. I got the one cylinder off. I'm going to pop the engine mounts off and then tilt the engine forward so then I can get the other cylinder off, which is the trouble cylinder. And I'm hoping I have the tool to get the clutch, the primary clutch off, because you need to do that to be able to get to the other bolt. So we're going to get started on that. I need the breaker bar, aka torque wrench. Hopefully. Oil everywhere here. Nothing broken. Okay, we got a little sleeve and a washer on that. You need the breaker bar for this too. Looks like it. Okay, we can't get the clutch off, so we're just taking off the engine mounts that we can, and then see if we can maneuver the engine at all, if it'll tilt at all. Okay, guys, this is it. So you can see there's a chunk missing right here, but there's also, it's pasted to the side, which is then plastered the ring in to the cylinder or on top of the piston here. So what damage this is, this tiny bit of side to side, No up and down, so the crank is okay. I need to get that piston out. So I don't know about this cylinder though. Let me get the light over here. I deserve an award for getting this thing out. I don't know. So this doesn't seem like it's got lines on it, but there's no, I can't feel anything anywhere. I keep thinking there's chips in it, but because there's little holes in the cylinder. And it looks like the cylinder's fine. It just got some little residue of the aluminum from the piston. So looks like Nicosil really holds up. And I don't know if that's a scratch way down at the bottom, but that's not in the compression part. This top is the compression past the ports. And yeah, I don't know why that's flashing. So you can see, or not see, the cylinder looks great. Definitely looks okay. Definitely not spending 500 bucks on a new one. So we're going to take the piston off and get that out of there and see if there's any chunks down in the crank, because I think it's just all stuck to the side. And then we're going to have to measure the rings of this other cylinder here, and the cylinder's perfect, like perfect. And yeah, I think we lucked out on this one. If there's any marks, it's below the compression part for the piston, so at very least it'll get a little, yeah, I don't see it actually causing any issues. So okay, but we're gonna put it together anyways and see what the compression is. And so next is to get the piston off, the bad piston. Stand by. Okay, we're gonna need to get in there to get that circlip out. Tuck that all in there. And then we'll pop this, hopefully get this circlip out fairly easy. There we go. Had to mangle that a little bit. And what we're going to do, there we go. Look at the state of that. That's some serious mess. And that pin is just seized in there. So you're going to grab a flashlight. Try to look down in there. See if we see anything. And this has, there's the pin bearing. Looks still fine. I think I got one with the piston though. But there's very minimal side to side and nothing up and down. So looks like we're good there. And I can see right down in that crankcase. And honestly, I don't see anything down there. I don't see any chunks or nothing down there. So I'm wondering. So I'm thinking what happened is when the piston was on the downstroke, the chunk got caught in a port, broke off, then stuck to the top of the piston and melted to the top. So, and don't mind the mess, because this place, I've been fighting with this for hours now. Again, not a professional mechanic. So, helpful advice would be great. Okay, so that is a close-up. So it looks like this chunk is stuck up here, because I don't see anything down in the crank. And the rings are just melted right in. Just a lot of heat. But we got it out. We got the cylinder out. So my next step, I'm going to clean up this desk and arrange the parts so I don't forget where stuff goes. And I'm going to test the jets, the fuel injector, to see if everything is, if they're working, and I'm going to clean them out. So stay tuned. We're getting somewhere, finally. Okay, so in case nobody knows, we are going to do a test just to see if this is steel or Nicocell, because Nicocell is not magnetic, and that is not sticking. So it's a Nicocell, which means you can't hone it. It would be nice if I could have honed it to get it smooth again. So you just use a Scotch-Brite and just to buff it up a little bit. And then what we'll hope is, you know, if there is any aluminum from the piston still stuck on there, that the rings, the new rings, will wear that off. And actually what we'll do is we are going to pull the rings off of the other one. Okay, so we got the rings off of the other one. Goes in that order. And see if there's a mark to see if you can tell which is supposed to be side up. So there is a little mark right there. I don't know if you can see that. And it's a little circle. So I take that to mean that's face up. And this is the top ring. And there's no mark on the bottom. Just a little circle on the top. And then the bottom ring. Probably, oh, has a mark as well. So same little circle. And what we'll do is we'll take the bottom ring and we'll put it in here. And take the crappy piston and we'll just use it to press down and flatten that ring. And that ring gap is actually really good, I think. And let's see what we're looking at here. Dun, dun, dun. Bigger than that. Get some light on the situation here. It's like, it's so close. So this ring looks brand new. honestly. So that gap is so tight. That is 11 hundredths. So let's try 14. 16. Oh, that don't fit in there. 17. So 0.43 millimeters. And that fits in there, the 18. So let's pull that one out. And that's pretty tight fit. And then we'll put the bottom one in. And we'll use the piston. And we'll check that one. And oh, it's even tighter. So probably got 17 or 16. Oh, that ain't fitting. 16 barely fits in there. Okay, so I don't think there's anything different between these two rings. They both look the same. Oh no, actually, yeah, the top ring has a bit of a slant to it. A little bit of a beveled edge. Okay, let's take a look at what the factory is, or the tolerances. 2006. There's 700 ring gap. Okay, so 0.010 to 0.025, and we had 18 and 16, I think it was. So we are definitely within the tolerances there. So we don't need to do anything with the piston, the good piston. We will put that back in. I'm not spending another 300 bucks just because for something we don't know if it's going to run. So the other piston is on order and should be here this week. And we'll put that in and the new O-rings and gaskets, and we'll clean this up and start putting her back together. Okay, so in the next video we're gonna do we're gonna test the fuel injectors. So I might actually put that as a short or something, and hopefully you know, that works out and we can get them cleaned up. I got the cleaner and the tester, and we will I think I'll do that tomorrow and make sure those, because we gotta find out what happened. You know, we can spend all this money and time on this, but we definitely you know, like one of the subscribers said, you don't want to be doing this twice, and I definitely don't want to be doing this twice. So we have a fuel injector on the back, and if I had two hands. So we're gonna see if this sucker is clogged or not working, and we will clean it and order a new one out if we have to. So that's why I kind of want to do it tomorrow. So then if we do need to grab another one, I can order that up and do it at the same time we do the piston. Kind of, it's Christmas time, so things are backed up a little bit in ordering and deliveries because, well, everybody's getting Christmas presents. So may take a little bit longer, but I like to get this stuff done fast, so then I don't lose track of where everything goes, and that's why I record everything. So all right, guys, we'll see you in the next video, and like and subscribe, and let's keep growing the channel. We're doing great, and any hints, any kind of tips, helpful tips would be great. So you can see this looks, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like it's scored, but it's not. It's perfectly smooth. So I don't know if it, I don't know, dropped some of the aluminum from the piston. But yeah, let's keep the channel growing. Let's keep learning. And I know I'm learning a lot. And this one's a good one. I'm going to learn a lot from this one. But all right, guys, have a good weekend. And I should have another one out by Christmas, but if not, have a great Christmas. Peace.